You don't actually care about fat people. You care about making yourself look like a good person. So that's why you say, "Oh, you're not fat. You're pretty." You don't care about actively their autonomy or their lives at all because you still do horribly disrespectful things to them. You still do all these things when putting them at the bottom of your totem pole of friends list. And every single time you do that, you actually ruin their lives even more so because they feel horrible because you've been propagandized in your mind to actually view fat people as lesser. I'm beginning to think you guys don't actually like fat people. I don't know the politically correct term for fat people, so I'm just gonna say fat people. I was a fat person before. I used to be large and in charge. So I'm 5'6", and the most I've ever weighed in my life was 280 pounds. I didn't lose height. That's just what happened. I was 280 pounds. Only reason I really got so skinny was because of leukemia. Chemo ate me alive, to be quite honest with you, and leukemia ate me alive. That's pretty much the reason I'm skinny, or at least as skinny as I am right now. I did end up losing a lot of my weight, but I had that weird skin flap stuff that made me feel completely garbage and gross. Then I got some skin surgery to get that removed. Just want to point that out. So I've been perusing through the interwebs on TikTok, and I'm discovering that people just don't like fat people, or at least they're nice about the way they hate fat people. Let me show you some TikToks as an example. So there's this thing called the language of acceptance that I've discovered. It's the same language you use when you say, "Oh, you're cute for a black guy," which is just strange, awkward, and a little bit racist, to be quite honest with you, because that means you think all other black people are ugly, and I'm the one exception among the black people that is like, "Oh, I'm one of the good ones." Feels the same way as saying that. I think what most people like is the performance of acceptance because it allows them to feel compassionate without ever confronting how they actually feel about larger bodies. So body positivity has somehow turned into pretending reality doesn't exist instead of teaching people that reality doesn't have to determine someone's worth. Those are two completely different ideas among how you treat somebody because it feels odd. You know, my favorite statements I've ever heard among my fat friend groups, it's just super fun. Whenever we're with our skinny friends, or when we're with our skinny friends, they would say, "Oh, you're not fat, you're pretty." What correlation do any of those two terms have in any capacity? That doesn't make any sense to me. Let's talk about being nice versus being kind. So what is the difference between being nice and being kind for you? Being nice to me is avoiding uncomfortable conversations because you don't want someone to feel bad in the moment. Being kind is telling the truth while making sure the truth never becomes a weapon against the other person. That's how I feel the difference is. So, it's a massive difference between saying, "You're not fat, you're beautiful," and saying, "Yes, you're fat, and I still think you're beautiful. And it doesn't matter about your beauty is not determined by your being fat in any capacity." That's what it is. I had a friend a while back, and he would always ask me, he said, "Do you think I'm fat?" I would say, "Yes," every single time. He said, "Why do you think I'm fat?" I said, "Because you're physically large, brother. It's not a thought process, it's a definitive fact. You're fat, dude." And then he would say, "Why would you say that?" I said, "Why would you ask me the question if you already know the answer to the question? Are you looking for confirmation, Bryce? Or are you looking just to be mad about the state of affairs that you're currently in? I don't know which one you want from me." He said, "How can I fix that?" Firstly, I didn't know his health history, and I was a human science major at the time. I was in the midst of doing college work for human sciences, so I didn't know if he had a glandular problem. I didn't know if his body couldn't lose weight as easily. I didn't know his metabolism, whether he had a slower metabolism or a faster metabolism. I didn't know his dietary restrictions. I didn't know anything about that. I had no clue. The only concern I really have upon seeing somebody or upon learning somebody personally is if they're healthy. And he was fat, but he was extremely healthy. He just wasn't satisfied with the way he looked. I think it is very human to not be satisfied with the way you looked. Imagine growing up as the ugly friend and then later becoming really pretty. A lot of times it makes you really want to go after everybody that finds you even slightly attractive because you never had that validation growing up. That's what happens. So when your entire life you're the ugly fat friend, "Oh, nobody speaks to me," or "Nobody talks to me." I'll give you an example. This TikTok right here.
Being the designated ugly fat friend sucks, and let me tell you why. So when my friends and I went to a mixer and I got matched with a date, my date ended up telling a mutual friend of ours that she wanted my friend and not me. So my date and I meet up before the event. We pregame together, have small talk, and things are going pretty well. At the venue, we ended up getting separated, no big deal, right? So tell me why. 20 minutes into the event, I look over and she is talking to my homie. She also sends one of her friends to talk to one of my friends to try to get something going between the two of them. This is how I know I am the designated ugly fat friend. I can also compare my shooting averages compared to my homies. I am like Klay Thompson in this 2024 season. And my homies put together are like the 2015 Golden State Warriors. So yeah, I'm the fucking Duff of my friend group.
If you want to know what it's like to be like the big girl in a friend group, let me share an experience I just had recently. This took place on my birthday, of all days. I'm out at a bar with friends. Life is good. I'm feeling good. Lost 40, almost 50 pounds, and I'm feeling good. There's a table of boys next to us, and like we can hear them talking, kind of. It's really loud, obviously. It's a bar. And it's obvious that they're looking at us and talking about us or somebody at our table. This guy comes over to our table and he immediately comes around to my side of the table and he like touches my shoulder. And I was kind of put off because like, why are you talking to me? You know? He starts asking me questions like what my name is, how old I am, what I do for work, etc., etc. Then he asks the golden question, which is, can I get your number? And I hesitated because this doesn't happen. The girls at the table were like, do it, you know? And I was like, yeah, why not? Like, why not? Give him my number, or I start to give him my number. He stops and he like turns around to look at his table and he was like, you guys owe me $50. And they all start laughing and he starts laughing. And the guy that was talking to me like kind of walks away kind of halfway between our tables, and his friend was there and he's like, I told you fat bitches are easy. And that was the end of the evening. That was it. So yeah, that was super good for my confidence. And yeah.
Just statements like those two TikToks I just showed you really define how I feel about the entirety of what's going on. But I think that's because we've skewed a lot of body positivity because people don't want to accept how they actually feel because they're propagandized to actually hate fat people. With this, I actually have to talk about body positivity because people don't understand what body positivity means. The message of body positivity, I know I'm going to use Lizzo for an example here for some reason. I don't know why people hated Lizzo for losing weight, but the reason behind body positivity shouldn't be that nobody should ever want to lose weight. That's not the message of body positivity. The message should be that your current body isn't a moral failure of your entire life. That's not what it is. When Lizzo started to lose weight and she was posting about losing weight and everything, everybody said, oh, so you just don't believe in body positivity anymore? I thought you were the fat icon. Aren't you supposed to be out there for bigger girls? No, that's not the point of body positivity. The point of body positivity is to say, okay, I shouldn't wake up hating myself every single day because of the space you physically occupy. Your value as a person isn't determined by your waistline, your clothing size, or the number on the scale in any capacity. Whether you decide to lose weight, gain weight, or stay exactly where you are should never determine whether you deserve respect or whether you deserve a friend group. Tell you a fun little story real fast. When I started to work out and lose a bunch of weight, a lot of people started hanging out with me. But then I noticed nobody hung out with the big girls. Everybody kept saying, oh, I'm not going to hang out with the big girls. Don't want to hang out with them. So I took it upon myself to coagulate and have an armada of tubbies. I exclusively hung out with big girls, bigger people in that variety, because all the big guys I knew were extremely funny, and all the big girls I knew how to cook. I learned how to make masterful dishes. I want you to do this when you get home, or if you have the freedom time to do this, I want you to get a grilled cheese with brioche bread. Put butter on the pan. Don't put mayonnaise or anything crazy like that to get the bread crispy. Just put butter on the pan. And then on the inside, get some spreadable cream cheese, and then get a slice of American. Put it on about low heat, maybe about a 2, if you have that little one electric stove. Put it about a 2 low heat, and then slowly cook that as slow as you can. Put cream cheese and American cheese on that. Learned that from a big girl. Amazing masterpiece of a sandwich. Love to see it. Get some tomato soup and some apple juice on the side. Outstanding. Also, because they didn't have a lot of people to speak to, and because I allowed them to speak, because for some reason people talk over big people a lot, it was just a better friendship overall. I viewed them heavily as people, and also I still was sexually attracted to them. I just want to point that out. The guys too. I was also sexually attracted to the guys and the girls. I really just like personalities at the end of the day. That's just what I want. I saw this story on TikTok about being the big friend as well. I saw this one. I want to show you this one as well.
Yeah, I'm ready. And the thing is, I'm not even that big for real. Why you look like that? Fat Albert was the worst thing that could happen to me as a kid. Because every time I walk in the room, hey, it's Fat Albert. Somebody getting roasted, I laugh. They say, set your big ass up. Not everybody laughing. I ain't even said nothing. But then I get mad. They say, hey, bro, you too big to be playing. It's a lose-lose situation. Like I'm always the butt of every joke. I fall on the ground, everybody yelling, "Earthquake!" The ground don't even be shaking for real. Can I have a moment?
The amount of underhandedness that big people get dealt with, I don't know, skinny phobic is what allergic to being skinny, whatever you want to call them. I'm not quite sure. I don't know the PC term, man. I just don't know. Listen, if someone's fat and doesn't want to change, that's their decision. If someone's fat and desperately wants to lose weight, that should also be their decision. Neither choice should make them more worthy of dignity than the other. Somewhere along the way, we've convinced ourselves that supporting people means choosing one answer for everyone, when real support means helping each other whenever is possible. I want you to reach whatever healthy and realistic goals they have for themselves. That's what compassion is. That's what empathy is. And that's what kindness is. Listen, if you're healthy and you're 400 pounds, great. If you're healthy and you're 300 pounds, great. Healthy and 200, great. If you're healthy, that's you. That's between you and yourself. That's between you and your doctor. I'm not your doctor. I think people are so afraid of offending someone that they end up reinforcing the very stigma that they're trying to fight. If your first instinct is to avoid the word fat entirely, you've already treated it like an insult. If you whisper it, dance around it, or replace it with 10 different euphemisms. Oh, you're just big boned. Oh, you have a low metabolism. You're chubby. You're thick. You're a BBW. Don't worry about it. You're amazing. You're pretty. You're admitting that you think the word fat is shameful and that it's shameful to be fat. That's what you're admitting to yourself. That's what you're admitting to everybody else around you. You're just telling your friend, yeah, you know, it's a little bit shameful to be fat, and I'm not fat, but you're fat, and I'll hang out with you even though you're fat. That's disrespectful. That is high-key disrespectful. I didn't hang out with people back in the day because they were fat. Nobody hung out with them, and I hung out with them. I didn't know why anybody hung out with them because they were fat. That's why people didn't hang out with them. I ended up having a lot of fat friends because nobody wanted to hang out with them, and I was one of the outcasts back in the day. So that was really cool for me to actually have friends, because all I wanted back in the day was friends. A word only has as much power as we give it. Describing somebody accurately shouldn't be a way to insult them. That just seems disgusting. I've discovered that saying the whole truth is very important. If you want to be kinder, you need to be kinder. Kind of strange to explain what kindness looks like to a lot of people, because most people don't know how to be kind. They know how to be nice. A good baseline for how kindness works is the volunteer that raises his hand without asking for a reward. Give you a fun example, right? Whenever I hang out with my friends and we're out and eating and I have more money, I pay for everybody. I never ask for money back. Never once have I asked for money back. I don't think they owe me in any capacity. And if they have money, if they want to pay, they can. But I'm not asking for them to pay. It's not going to be a back and forth. They can pay if they want to. If they don't want to pay, they never have to. I never had that as a stipulation among my friendships. Never cared about that. Beginning of summer, I took all my friends to Cedar Point. I had about 3 people with me. It was really fun. Took my wife with me. Paid for everybody. Bought all our stuff. Rounded out to about $325 because I have a little bit of a discount and a deal. And everybody said, how do we pay you back? You don't. You don't gotta do Zelle. You don't gotta do Cash App. You ain't gotta do any of that. No Venmo, none of that. Because I'm kind. It just doesn't matter to me at all. I was at a party recently on my friend's birthday. And as I was at this party, I encountered this person. They go by Zim. And Zer said to me, hey, I don't really like my weight. I don't like my body. I don't like how I operate. And I said, oh, okay, why is that? And, person said, oh, I just because, I'm bigger and nobody likes to hang out with me. I said, I'll hang out with you. That's how I discovered pronouns Zer Zim. Ended up hanging out with the person. And, man, Zim is amazing. Man, just a fun person. Hanging out with Zim is just cool. I just think Zim is awesome. I just think, oh my God, it's just fun to learn more about the person. We both like Beautiful Joe, both like Devil May Cry, both like Monster Hunter, just having a great conversation. We even played some video games together. It was fun. And, never experienced that level of kindness. Not level of kindness in Zer's life. Never experienced it. Not once. Also, if you hate neopronouns, just want to give you a little bit of a side tangent here. If you're looking for somebody online to accept your neopronouns, that's never going to happen. I personally know this person, so I'm going to accept their neopronouns because I'm not going to disrespect them on the guise of online, even if they never see my videos. That's never happening in my entire life. If I see you online and I don't know you, there's no universe in which I'm going to have a lot of respect for you because I have no clue who you are. I will respect your identity at a base level, but I don't know you as a person, so you matter significantly less in my life. I think neopronouns and specific pronouns for a lot of people are for friend groups more so than anything. That's how I feel about a lot of stuff when it comes to neopronouns. I think it's good for friend groups because it's very interpersonal. It's very, very interpersonal. Sorry, I went on a side tangent about neopronouns. I might make a video about neopronouns later, but I just wanted to get that out the way right now, just while I'm on the subject and topic. Anyways, back to being kind. Let me explain about being kind. Being kind is like, yes, you're fat, but that doesn't change how I see you at all. If you're happy and healthy, then I'm happy for you. If you're unhappy and want to change it, I'll support you through that too. That response accepts reality without making reality someone's entire identity. It doesn't pressure someone to stay the same. It doesn't pressure them to become someone else. It simply reminds them that they're worth caring for about either way. They're just worth caring about either way. That's how it operates. That's the difference to me. To me, it's just validation being mistaken for love, you know? Validation will say whatever keeps someone comfortable in a moment. Love is willing to tell the truth or reminding someone they never needed to earn their humanity in the first place. Give you a fun example of validation and love. This is America. I love America. It's my favorite country on the planet. I love America with my whole chest. I criticize America a lot. A lot of this channel is me criticizing how I feel about the American politics, policies. That's because I love America. I wish for the best for it, and I want to see this country do phenomenal, and America is my favorite. That's what I want to see. This is Donald Trump. He's never wrong. To a lot of his supporters, that's validation. They validate everything this man does, no matter how horrible or twisted or messed up it is. That's not love. That is a cult mentality. That is not real love or devotion. That is not wanting somebody to improve. That is simply wanting them to exist with whatever they're doing. That's not good. Every time you say a statement such as, "You're not fat, you're pretty," you're doing exactly what MAGA does to Donald Trump. That's it. Doesn't make fat people feel good at all. Does not make fat people feel good at all. They're still talked over. They're still picked last. They're still not loved by their friends and need the support. That they don't get any of it. They don't get any of it. You don't actually care about fat people. You care about making yourself look like a good person. So that's why you say, "Oh, you're not fat, you're pretty." You don't care about actively their autonomy or their lives at all, because you still do horribly disrespectful things to them. You still do all these things when putting them at the bottom of your totem pole of friends list, and every single time you do that, you actually ruin their lives even more so, because they feel horrible because you've been propagandized in your mind to actually view fat people as lesser. At the end of the day, body positivity shouldn't be about convincing people that everybody is identical. Health conversations are not forbidden, right? It should be about removing shame about these conversations and shame about your body from the equation entirely. It should mean that whether someone is fat, thin, muscular, disabled, or somewhere in between, they deserve the same baseline level of respect and compassion. The goal isn't to lie to people about what they look like, because that's just disrespectful, and ugly people have to discover they're ugly way later in life, and it's just horrible all around. The goal is to make sure that what they look like never determines how much dignity they're allowed to have as a person. I just don't think people really like or care about fat people at all. It just seems strange. Feels as though they get the short end of the stick all the time, and I absolutely hate it, and it's disgusting. Also, people only like a certain kind of big person. You know what I mean? Oh, she's fat, but she's got a big butt and big chest. No. She's fat and has no butt and no chest and just a big midsection and a large chin. Is she still just as beautiful, right? This is good for you, yes? Should be. It should be, dude. It should be, because you're using beauty as a standard for weight right now is what you're doing. That's why you shouldn't use beauty as a standard for weight, because a lot of people don't find this attractive. You don't have to find it attractive, dude. You don't have to. If you have a certain centralized idea of what you mean by fat, oh, this is what I mean by fat: big chest and slim waist and big thighs and big legs. No, you're stupid. You're dumb. You're just dumb. Hate seeing that one too. It's just, I might make another video about that specific phenomenon, because I have so much to say about it. But right now, I'd like to actually end the video. Thank you guys so much for checking out my video. Go ahead and tell me how you feel about this topic in the comment section below. And if you're a bigger person, correct me if I got something wrong. Go crazy. I'm more than willing to accept when I'm incorrect. I'm simply giving my opinion about a subject. I'm not an authority on any of this stuff. I was just bigger once, and I've dealt with the stigma of not being the friend that was picked first because of my weight. I dealt with that before, and it sucks. Really sucks is a lot of girls will hang out with you, and then they'll say, say, your friend's hot. I just want you to tell me about your friend. That sucked. Oh, I hate that so much. I really did. Made me hate my attractive friends a bit more. Now I'm more the attractive friend because I've lost weight and I'm more calisthenic wise and people think I'm more attractive nowadays. But man, it sucks. Anyways, if you guys want to ever see me in person, you know, rizz me up or something of that variety, you're more than welcome to come to YomaCon in Detroit, coming at the end of October, around November. It's YomaCon. You can check for it in Detroit. Fun anime convention. I'm doing 10 panels there. So if you ever want to talk to me or hang out with me, I'll be there. Also, don't flirt with me, by the way. I'm in a very good relationship right now. Just don't flirt with me unless something changes. If something changes, you know, you guys can be my rebound. Isn't that messed up? I'm just openly telling you that. It's just funny, isn't it? Isn't that messed up? That's evil, though. Isn't that so evil? I don't care. You can also check me out on CROS Side Thoughts or on CROS Plays. Right now on CROS Plays, I'm just finding a main game to play. We're playing a game called Tears of Metal over there, which is really fun. And we're also playing Dragon Sword Awakening and Birds of War, which is a PvP game where you just fight as a bird. It's really fun. It's cool. It's cool. I love this game a lot. Quick shout out to my friend Onikora. Just want to point out, trying to get this person to 10,000 followers on Instagram. Just gonna start plugging this at the end of the video just to let you guys know to go over to Instagram and drop a follow for them. I want to see them get 10,000 by the end of the year because I think they deserve it. I also have a Patreon at $1 a month. I make 2 videos a day, and it takes a while, and it's a lot, and hopefully that is enough for you to support me on general support on Patreon for $1 a month. If I can get 10,000 people to give me $1 a month, I can switch over to 1 video a day that's going to be 1 long 30-minute video, which would be way easier and way better and not overcrowd you with content. Right now, I kind of have to make 2 videos a day just so I live, so I can make money on YouTube. I rely on ad revenue right now, but I'd like to be fully funded by you guys. So thank you guys so much. Well, with that being said, I'm out. Peace.
I'm your nigga night, be my loyalties low. Ooh, happy to try what you need. Your world, I love to live in it. Ooh, I love the ride when you